So welcome to a very cold day in the garage. Here it is, the Ford Taurus. Unfortunately, I lost all the video to this, and this thing was cobbed up. What I had to do was put new wheel cylinders in this thing. And then along doing the wheel cylinders, this kid tried to fix a leak. I don't know what he was talking about, other than his wheel cylinder was leaking and it needs to be replaced. So I'm replacing both wheel cylinders, which was real easy. You take the drum off, take your line off, which he broke one of the lines, and then he tried to replace it with some brass and some kind of hose. So this video is what not to do with brake lines, and that is, don't do anything. Replace them with metal line or rubber line that is specified by the maker or your parts store. And don't use compression fittings. I don't know how many times I've seen compression fittings used on vehicles. You know, I've seen them work. But what happens if you get into an emergency situation where you have to slam on your brakes? I don't think those compression fittings hold to a very high PSI, and brake systems are under a lot of pressure, so don't use those. You may, if you're in a pinch and you got to, do it, but you'll never see me use a compression fitting on a brake line. So let's get down here and I'll show you the proper fix. I wish I still had video of the improper fix, but I'll show you what I've done back here. So there is the new rubber line, because when he did whatever he did, which my light over there is dicking over everything, which when he put in a bolt to stop leaking, he messed up this rubber line, which the threads. So now you can see that it has new wheel cylinders, which there's the two fasteners in the back. You just unbolt those, pull off your hub, and you can use like a screwdriver or a pry bar and pry it over, and then you can pull it out and put a new one in. But yeah, can you see proper metal lines goes up into another metal line, which this is not ran correctly, but it's not going to cause any problems. It's not going to hit anything. It's not ran back in the same direction. But you can see my little tab didn't go in, which that's no big deal. We'll unscrew that, I'll unbolt that and bend that back over and in. But as you can see, I saved the original piece right here. Just cleaned it up, put it in, and I used my Eastwood brake flaring tool to put the proper flare on it, and it's bolted in there. And likewise over here, new brake line goes all the way in, and you can see everything is properly done right like that. So now when we go to bleed these, we won't have to worry about the bleeders not coming unloose. That was another reason why I did it. And I always leave my covers on until I go to put in my new fitting. So everything's brand new. Looks pretty. Yeah, but this was one big pain in the butt job. Anytime this car comes here, this car is my nemesis. This is a, what is this thing? A 99 Ford Taurus, and it's a piece, but it gets the kid back and forth to school and to his job and everything. But I've replaced the transmission in it. I've done wheel bearings or wheel hubs, brakes. Now I've done the back. So sometimes when you get cars like this, when you start calling it your nemesis, it's about time to basically fire this car and say, I don't want it back. And most likely that's what's going to happen with this one, is when he comes and gets it, I'm going to tell them find somebody else to work on it because it's becoming a pain. Also did a tune-up on it. The car runs great. In all actuality, I probably shouldn't see it back, but the track record with this kid is, he had a Honda Accord. I put a clutch in it. 2 or 3 weeks later, he totaled it, and then he got this car, and it had a bad transmission. I replaced it. I found one, replaced it. So on and so forth. But I think I'm done with this car. I don't want to see it anymore. Yeah, so he will be told, don't bring it back. I appreciate the business, but it's the next thing that's going to go wrong with it. It's just going to be a headache, and unless it's something stupid and simple. But I've had more headaches with this car than a lot of cars that come in here. But that is the video for today, and the video is what it is. So like always, comment, rate, subscribe, and guess what? I'll catch you on the flip side when the next job comes in and there's something interesting or updates or whatever, blah blah blah. So yeah, so later on.